Quebec.
Yeah.
How does that fall down?
But how does that happen? Well, it may be because the United States is spending $200 billion a year on the war in Iraq. I don't know. Maybe it's all about priorities. Maybe it's about the priorities the governments set. You conservative guys having fun back there? You get good tape?
You betcha, Garth.
Right.
It's a hell of a show.
Make sure you show it to all your buddies.
You bet.
Now, in the meantime, we are actually getting closer and closer with the Americans through the STP. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just think it's something we got to be aware of. And if our government right now is increasing spending to the highest level ever, increasing family taxes, causing mortgage rates to go up, and hurting seniors with income trust taxation, how can that be a good thing if there's any kind of economic storm on the horizon? I don't think so. It concerns me, definitely. Now, some people say here in Alberta, forget it. We got all the oil, okay? We got enough oil for like 400 years. You guys go and forget it. This isn't going to touch us. Well, it might be true. Things obviously are going well here. Best job market in North America, lots of oil. But the reality is, if there is a recession in the United States, demand for energy in the United States is going to go down. They consume 70% or 70% of their oil comes from Canada. They're the biggest consumers of oil in the world. If the American demand goes down, prices go down. You know what oil prices do. They move minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. If the price of a barrel of oil, which I guess today hit an all-time high, the price of a barrel of oil goes, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30. I don't know, a barrel, which can happen in a recession, it certainly happened before. We know that, then boom, we go all impact, all of us. I'm not a doomster or gloomster at all. I mean, I'm a very positive guy. But you know what? I'm a member of Parliament. It's my job to try and understand what's going on in the world and make sure that my Parliament and my constituents, that we all get the best choices possible. We all get the best government possible. We all get the right choices made. And right now, we have some challenges in this country, and I think we should talk about it a little more than we are. Our challenges, record government spending right now. We have finances under pressure. We've got an aging population that's maybe moving time long. We've got volatile global markets, a weakening American economy. We have real estate trends to keep our eye on, and we still need all of us to find a balance between the environment, because we care about the environment, and the economy, because we care about that as well. So, these are the challenges. Does our Prime Minister understand that? Is he making the right choices? What is he doing to deal with all of this? Well, lately, what has he done? He shuffled his cabinet, that's for sure. He took some ministers from over here, and he took the ministers and he put them over there. He obviously, he got rid of a few problems, we know that, but in general, we are, the critique is not a very good one. In fact, Mr. Harper's basically said, you know what, don't expect me to do anything that much different. Don't expect me to cut taxes, because that's not going to happen. I don't think he's actually going to be restoring any of the promises he's broken. Now, that is why, right now, I am happy to work with this guy. And I'll tell you why. I think Stéphane Dion understands the problems. I think he understands the nature of achieving environmental sustainability. I think we all understand we need some fresh thinking in this country to make sure we're taking care of issues. I think we need to make sure we understand demographics and the aging population and respect and re-help people in their retirement. We don't hurt them. And in fact, in terms of young families, we have to give them hope. We've got to give people lower taxes and more opportunity. And I think it's a crime when young families actually have to make a choice between buying a house and having a family. We're not doing a very good job in society when we make families and young couples make that kind of a choice. And more than anything else, we need to restore honor and trust and integrity to our government. It's hard to have trust, isn't it, sometimes? I mean, when you elect a prime minister who says one thing and ends up doing something else. I can't imagine if I were the conservative candidate in the last election and I stood out in front of my future constituents and I said, vote for me, and I will make sure your income taxes go up. I will make sure that if you're an income trust investor, your assets are taxed. And I will promise you that my conservative government will spend more money than any other government in history, probably raising inflation and giving you higher mortgage rates. Vote for me. They wouldn't do it. And neither should you. trust, honor, restore to government. We need people who care. We need people who work for Canada, constituents, who work for the people more than they work for parties. Parties are fine, parties are necessary, leaders are necessary. But leaders who keep their word are the most important asset we can probably have. Right now we have challenges. All our oars need to be in the water together. And that's why I'm pleased to be here tonight, because I know that you folks understand that, and I know that together we can try and get a government that's going to be responsible and deal with the challenges and make this country truly what it needs to be, which is terrific. Thank you so much. Those are my comments. All right, so as I said a few minutes ago, I'm really interested in knowing what you guys think. And this is a public meeting, so any question is completely welcome. I'll try and answer it. If you have any question, we have two candidates here today, Jennifer and Marlene as well. Do you guys want to stand up, please? So we have two candidates here. Center that I, as a dumb Easterner, can answer. I'm sure they'll help me out. So, but we've got a microphone here, or if you just want me to come over with my mic, I'm happy to do that. So let's kick it off. We'll just probably got a little switch here to turn on. Let's try it. Good. Okay.
Well, my name's Michael Sims. I'm the president of the Power College Liberals. And I guess my question is, what is voting trust? I was wondering, you were in the Conservative cabinet for a while now. To me, this tax doesn't make sense. It never makes sense. If I understand it correctly, it's like a direct tax on economic growth as well, not just hurting the portfolios of seniors, but a direct tax on economic growth. I think there's a million better options if they wanted to raise revenue or something. My question is, what justification did Jim Flaherty give to you, or did you get it from him? That's all I wanted to know.
Thank you for the question, and it's a reasonable one. There was no justification given by Mr. Flaherty prior to making the announcement. He did it on the evening of October 31st. He didn't consult with Cabinet. He and the Prime Minister consulted. They were the only ones. So there was no wider circle of people involved in that decision. You may remember that the last Minister of Finance, Ralph Goodale, he was under pressure from the Department of Finance to do exactly the same thing. And how did Goodale respond? He had a consultation that went on for about a year, where they talked to everybody in the industry to see if that was a reasonable way to go or not. And at the end of that consultation, the decision was made not to do it. But Mr. Flaherty made that all on his own. And as I say, to me, it's more evidence. He did not understand the consequences of his action. But you're quite right. This is a tax on the economy, and in many ways, it's a huge tax on the Alberta economy. Who else? Sir. There you go. I'm Dr. Phil, okay? What's your problem? Okay? The problem's at home, or,
So my question for you is, you're talking about your problems you have in caucus and not being heard. In the old days, the Reform Party, one of its big issues was always reforms are going to make the MPs more accountable to people. None of these parties were independent for a while. Do you see issues or ways you'd like to change the system so independent commitment of power, etc., so MPs have more power rather than being able to develop the trade seal or the leaders?
Good question. I agree with that a lot. And actually, when I was an independent member of Parliament, I examined as much as I could as to why the system was the way it is. And I now have 4 motions on the order paper. In other words, like private members' bill, to give independent members of Parliament the same rights and privileges as party members of Parliament. And also the Election Finances Act, the Election Act of Canada. If you're an independent member of Parliament, you actually can't, if you gave me $100, I can't give you a tax receipt if I'm an independent. I have to wait till the actual election is called. That means that